So hello and welcome to the New Gig Podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Hodgson, and today I'm delighted to be joined by the CEO of Ework Group, Karin Schreil. How are you doing, Karin?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's a pleasure to have you on the program. And let's just begin from the beginning, a little bit about yourself, your background and your personal journey, but also the vision and purpose of Ework Group as well.
Mhm. Well, to start off a bit with myself, I was actually born in the beginning of the 70s. So I think I belong to the typical Generation X individuals who were raised and supported very much in becoming an independent individual with equality and collaboration and also learning as key ingredients. And
Yeah.
that learning is something that has been a bit of a common thread for me, not just throughout my childhood and my school and my hobbies, but also my future career.
Mm.
Um, and I was actually, I was really happy to start my career at a very good place. So I finished my Master of Science in 1994,
Yep.
and I then joined as my first employment. I joined ABB in Västerås, Sweden, and their management trainee program,
Yeah.
which was a great start to my career, really, where I got the chance to learn and learn a lot from others and get inspired by others and really encouraged to fulfill my dreams
Yeah.
and really thrive and grow with my tasks at hand. And I then, 10 years later, roughly, moved to the consulting and tech industry. And that's where I have remained ever since. And throughout all the years, actually, Ework Group was there to support my organizations with really good talent,
Yeah.
with the skills we needed and when we needed them. So when I was later asked to join Ework Group as the CEO,
Mm.
this felt all natural to me, and my obvious answer was, of course, yes. This is a challenge that basically everything I've done, I think, throughout my career, led up to it one way or the other.
Fantastic.
So here I am, and I'm really, really glad to be here. And I am now the CEO of the company since November 21.
Yes.
It's going to be actually 2 years in November this year.
Oh, wow.
And
Coming up.
yeah, it's been such an intense time
Yep.
and a time that I really have enjoyed in so many ways, not just because of the great business model of the company,
Mm.
but also because of the good colleagues and the people I get to work with in my company, but also across the whole value chain where we operate.
And
So it's really, really nice to be in that kind of role and in that business.
well, absolutely. And let's say a little bit more about sort of eWork Group and, of course, the fantastic role that you're having as a facilitator, as a bridge between talent and opportunities, because I think sort of the services that you're offering are being demanded more and more by individuals, but also companies and organizations as well.
Yes. Yes, that's so true. So we tap into two big trends, acting as you said, as the bridge between on one hand our clients and people and leaders in need of skills and talent. And that could be talent as a temporary workforce, it could be talent as interim workforce, and
Mm.
it could even be supporting recruitment for permanent positions. So talent and skills in any form, basically. And the thing with our business model is that none of these talents are employed by our company. So
Right.
we really look to the entire labor market and find the best match to our clients' needs. And that's how we operate and believe that we can provide the best value to companies and organizations who are in need of specialist skills. So
Yeah.
that's basically what we do and have been doing for 20 years now. Actually, more than 20 years. We started off in year 2000, so it's more. Time really flies.
Time really flies, and I think that this idea of sort of the development of open and global talent as well. I mean, could you say a little bit about what are the drivers for businesses, but also for the talent themselves? What's brought about this change and this development?
Yeah. So if we look at the client side or the business or societal side of our value chain, so clearly digitalization and new technology is a very strong trend,
Yeah,
driving and enabling new business models for organizations as well as private businesses. And this is, of course, an opportunity that everybody wants to leverage and tap into. And here we see mega trends now emerging in automation as AI. This is, of course, an area that requires a lot of skills and fresh skills,
yeah,
up-to-date skills. And this is, of course, a challenge for many organizations and companies to find. And that's where we come in and can be of help to
mm,
really guide them, assist them, and find that talent for them. We also see on the other hand and the other side of the value chain, we see a desire among more and more people to decide when and where and how they want to work. So we call that the future of business trends. And that's a whole set of trends that today businesses and organizations need to relate to one way or the other.
yeah,
We saw, as we all know, post-pandemic, that a lot of people, they discovered, and also the businesses discovered, that all work doesn't have to be conducted in an office or face-to-face,
yeah,
but really could be conducted on a remote basis. And that is another big trend that is growing across the world.
mm,
And of course, technology has enabled that trend as well. It's now possible for us to work on a remote basis and conduct a lot of work without having to be in the same physical location.
yeah.
Big trends in both ends of this value chain or skill supply chain, if you like, is really driving the development.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems to be a lot of this is individual led, this kind of desire for more flexibility, more choice, more freedom, as you rightly said, about when, where, and how to work. And of course, we're seeing at the same time the in most countries a shortage of the skilled labor that's required. Companies and organizations can't find the talent, so to be able to get the people they need to be a little think in a slightly different way to actually be attractive and to bring in the skills and expertise that the organization needs.
Yes, that's so true. So as an employer, as an organization, of course, you need to make yourself attractive to the people you want to bring into your organization.
Yes.
Once you have the people on board in your organization, equally important that you are there to support, inspire, enable them,
Yeah.
and not the least to help them with the learning, the continuous learning, which comes a lot from sharing. And it's
Mm,
equally important if, as a business, you bring in temporary workforce to include them in the common learning and development exercise, so
yes.
that you work with your workforce as a group of people who are there to conduct work and achieve results together,
Mm,
regardless of the employment form.
yeah.
So temporary workforce, interim consultants, permanent people in the organization need to come together and work under the same circumstances because they're all there to fulfill the goals and achieve the results of the organization.
Mm. And is that something that's kind of changing as we speak, almost, Karin? Because we see that some companies are still very kind of siloed in terms. These are our permanent workforce. We have a
Yes.
few consultants, interim, and they kind of treat them very, very differently, and almost have these walled gardens that they're not allowed to enter within the organization. Sometimes you hear
Yeah,
so many stories, and it's self-defeating for the company and the organization itself.
I fully agree. So this is talent who is there to perform a task and bring value to the company. And the employment form could not be and should not be the most important when it comes to this. So working together, forming successful teams, regardless of how they are employed, I think is super important. And of course, we have legislation coming up and already in place in some geographies and countries that we of course need to adhere to when doing so. And that's why we have sort of formed a solution that we call total talent management, where we can
Right.
also help and guide organizations and businesses to be compliant. So while forming these successful teams with people coming in from different parts and working under different employment forms, we still need to make sure that everybody is compliant. And,
Yes.
and that's something that we've developed an expertise around, so that we can be a good advisor to our clients.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this is so important as well, that there is the different models, and it's almost for companies to be able to adapt this kind of models, and they need to update their rules, procedures, and operations to be able to integrate talent so they feel sort of part of the organization, and have the information and the expertise to be able to contribute to the shared goals.
Definitely so, and that's also what we as Ework Group, we are really keen to see, that the talent that we provide and the talent management solutions that we deliver, that they really bring value to our clients' business,
Yeah.
not just in terms of looking at how much does a professional or a consultant cost per hour, but really what is the output.
Mm,
What is the consultant or the professional, the talent bringing in terms of added value to their business?
yeah.
That's really what we are keen to contribute with.
Mm. And I guess your sort of continued fantastic results, a testament to the fact that this is working well, and you're being able to deliver this value. But I'd be interested to know, Karin, how do you find the talent? How do you kind of filter out? There's so many people out there on the labor market, either actively searching or thinking about it. How do you sort of get to that talent, unlock it, and be able to shine a light on the possibilities for individuals?
Yeah, and that's the important side, so to speak, of the equation here, that we have a big network of partners and professionals that we know their skills, we have their skill data,
Yeah.
but also talent that we help and support in developing their skills.
Mm.
So recently, as an example, we entered into a collaboration with a Swedish company called Lexicon,
Yeah.
which is basically a big education portal,
Yes.
where we can help consultants and partners and professionals to find training, and we do that in an attractive form, so that they can continuously also develop their skills. Because
Yeah.
as we know, continuous learning is equally important as finding the skills when they are needed.
Yeah.
So we continue to develop the network and the professionals and our partners in the network. And we build that network gradually according to the needs that we see with our clients and organizations and businesses that we support.
Right.
So we of course want to be one step ahead
Mhm.
of our clients' needs. So really having an ear to the ground and really
Yeah.
understanding what's around the corner, what kind of skills, what kind of expertise will be needed going forward. That's important to us in building that network. Currently,
Yeah.
we have close to 120,000 talents in that network.
Wow.
And a clear trend that we've seen over the last couple of years is that network is growing in terms of geographies that we cover with that network. And we
Yes.
also see more and more clients in need of support across multiple geographies. So
Yeah.
even though we as a company operate in 5 countries currently, in Sweden, Poland, Norway, Denmark, Finland, we support our clients across a multitude of geographies. And we have currently professionals or consultants working for our clients out of 50 different countries.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
really see a strong global trend as well in the network, as well as in the demand coming from our clients.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it's ongoing process, and of course, this bridging function that you offer is more valuable than ever before, because both sides of the employment spectrum are really sort of counting on you to be able to provide the opportunities and the value, and be able to sort of have you as a trusted advisor and a trusted partner in this process.
Definitely, both sides do, and therefore, in our portfolio services, we have services for clients as well as services aimed for our partners and professionals, so that we can help, as you said, both sides and
Yeah.
develop their business and fulfill their goals and dreams. So
Mm.
we tap into the needs of both sides of the equation, and that's equally important for us. So we stand in the middle, holding hands with clients, partners, and professionals, and we want to contribute in holding those hands to good value across the whole value chain.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are companies adapting to the future of work, would you say, Karin?
Yeah.
Things are going so quickly these days, not just in terms of the tools and the technology, but also the expectations on both sides. So how are organizations adapting to this? Are they doing well? Is it a slower process in certain cases than others? And are they seeing the benefits of it or making the most of the potential benefits?
Mm. So I'd say our clients with global operations who have a history of operating on a global basis, global markets, and are used to outsourcing and offshoring.
Yeah.
I'd say in general, they are quite used to working and sourcing for talent on a global basis. And they expect us to be there as a partner to help them. What
Yeah.
we also see during the last years, if we look at public sector in Sweden, for
Mm.
instance, we definitely see that there is a good awareness of the need to really look for talent where the talent is.
Yeah.
And there is, of course, a need for support and assistance in finding the talent, as you said.
Mm.
And we want to be a really, really good advisor here to make sure that they really get the best talent they can get hold of. And we try every time we get a request from a client, we try to be as open-minded as possible, and we try to help them and
Yes.
open up their minds
Mm.
to see, could it be potentially an opportunity for you to use a consultant who is not working in the office?
Yeah.
Because that would open an opportunity to find skilled people on a broader basis.
Mm.
We try to open their minds in terms of maybe you don't need that kind of senior person for this case. Could you try a more junior person who
Yeah.
is able to develop and grow with the task?
Mm.
Or would you consider using a team of consultants who together could fulfill the task? So we
Right.
try to be there to challenge and to guide and assist and show different paths when it comes to really finding and attracting the right talent.
Yeah, I think that sparring partner role is absolutely
Yeah.
crucial for organizations, and also really interesting to hear about the fact that the public sector is also getting into this because they also want to attract the best talent that's out there, that's specific skills and knowledge for the roles that they have. So that's also an interesting development as well. That this is not just a private sector piece or a startup piece; it's big business, and it's the public sector that's also interested in these kind of efficiencies and opportunities.
Definitely. I mean, there is so much to do, I think, in public sector
Right.
in most countries, really.
Mm.
So where technology, digitalization, automation could facilitate the good development, increased efficiency, productivity, and also quality in different parts of the work that is done in public sector.
Yeah.
And here, of course, having the right people, having the right talent is absolutely crucial to be
Yes.
able to deliver those values to the citizens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we see big drivers here also with the green transition, transformation as an example.
Mm.
Of course, the public sector is one of the drivers, but we have a whole society and a big private sector who is also working hard to drive the green transformation. And that, of course, is also adding more needs for skills, not just in technology, but really understanding
Yes.
sustainability and that green transformation, how it could be done, and how that could be leveraged by the organizations.
Mm. And I think it's an important point because there's the efficiency gains there, but there's also the sustainability and environmental gains by doing these things properly. And I think that, as your role to be able to hold the hand of
Yeah.
the organizations to help them, to show them what is possible, what can they do to meet these obligations, and also at the end of the day, let's be honest, it'll help in terms of their branding towards the market, but also to other customers and future employees as well. So it's self-interest to be able to take these things seriously and do it properly.
Definitely so. And it all comes down at the end of the day
Yeah.
to people with the right skills, the right motivation, right engagement, and the right support. And that's also where the future of leadership comes in. And that's, I think, a whole separate topic, but equally important as a leader that you're able to manage the workforce and the future of business as well as the future of work trends.
Mm. That's really interesting, Corey. I know it's sort of a different topic, but I think it's really interesting because it's not the case that you have like one model and one framework that fits everyone now. It's almost you have to have sort of a strategy for each individual talent in terms of what they need, give them the flexibility, give them the support, give them the goals and the sort of the push that they need to deliver the best results themselves as well. So you're absolutely right. I think this is a key element we go into in the future of the work is the demands on leadership and management are different from the were in the 1950s or 1960s with a traditional hierarchical 9 to 5 business.
Yes, definitely. So it's much more of networking in today's organizations, and you need to be able to manage distributed organizations and teams. And as you say, teams that are not very homogeneous
Yes. Mm.
in general, right? So
Yeah.
so you need to be able to manage that, and while you still stay focused on delivering on the results of the organization, on the goals that you're striving to achieve.
Yeah.
So it is quite a complex role and a complex task. And of course, leaders also need support in being able to manage
Yes, of
that.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if from the Ework Group perspective, you're doing a fantastic job, really sort of setting the scene and being that trusted advisor for companies and organizations to help them through the maze of the future of work as well, which I think is testament to your abilities, but also the success that the company is having. So it's really good of you to be able to come on and share some of your thoughts, ideas, and best practice, and look forward to following the journey and hearing more from you in the near future.
Thank you, Glenn. And I do too. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. Absolute pleasure.